Okay, well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the William Penn School District's Education Committee meeting for Wednesday, October the 8th, 2025. And our agenda is as follows. First, we will have a technology update on Chromebooks by our Chief of Operations, Mr. Darnell Deans. Then we will have summer enrichment overview by Mr. Ed Dunn, Supervisor of Mathematics K through 12, and Mr. Michael McArthur, Supervisor of Research and Evaluation. And last, Student Service Update by Dr. Matthew Harris, Chief of Director of Student Services. In that order, we will begin.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Deans, Chief Deans, you are up next.
Great, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We wanted to share some information on technology and Chromebooks and where we are at this present time from a spending perspective and some of the things that we anticipate doing moving forward. So as you know, information technology is responsible for managing Chromebooks here in our district. And we wanted to share the cost of what we have spent over the past 3 years. So you'll see in the 23-24 school year, approximately $167,000 was spent on Chromebook devices and accessories. Accessories are consisting of Chromebook covers, some silicone covers, some hard base covers, and Chromebook chargers in most instances. Last school year, we spent approximately $125,000 on just devices alone, having a little bit more, not buying as many accessories along the way. And then this year we have projected to spend approximately $237,000 on Chromebook devices and accessories, and this will also include both chargers as well as devices to cover silicone covers or hardback covers as well. Next slide, Chief Brown. So in terms of what we're working on presently, our IT team is definitely one of the things that we spent a significant amount of time on this year was rewiring Chromebook carts to better secure charges to prevent damage, primarily at our elementary schools. We still are going to continue to work through this process as we believe that we have a little more work to do in order to ensure that Chromebook carts are a little bit more secure and chargers are not damaged. Those of you that are familiar with Chromebook carts, they sit in a little sleeve and then the charger is pulled around in order to plug it in. And our goal is to minimize the amount of slack, if you will, on the charger itself, thereby preventing it from separating as much from the base and hopefully allowing that charger to last a little bit longer. The one other thing that I wanted to definitely start the conversation here that we are extremely excited is that we've began a preliminary exploration of true one-to-one implementation district-wide. So some of the devices that we purchased this year, it will be specifically to support this initiative beginning into next year. So it is our hope that we will not have a need for use of all the devices that we have in our, that we purchased new in terms of refurbishing and re-quantifying our supply. So through this, we are exploring insurance options for the devices, which would also include a mobile device management system. And that mobile device management system allows us for asset tracking, allows us for loss prevention, it allows us for just asset management in total. Our goal is, and we will have more information in the coming weeks and months, is that beginning in the 9th grade year, students will start having their Chromebooks, and that Chromebook will be assigned to them for their duration of their high school years. So there will be a technology fee associated with this process, but those are some of the logistics that we will continue to work through But that is the goal that we are in a preliminary exploration for right now. Chief Brown, that concludes my updates. Open for any questions.
Yeah. Are there questions for Mr. Deans? MT?
There is one question, Ms. Tax.
Hello, Melinda Tax, PLC teacher. What type of fee are we looking at? Because I know I proposed that before as a resolution when I came to a school board meeting and they said that they didn't want to charge a fee. So like now everybody's okay with charging it, and how much will that approximately be? And would it be assessed, I guess, from their 9th grade year, they just have to pay it once, or is this a fee that's going to be every year?
Well, Ms. Sachs, thank you for your question. It's a great question. Again, we are in the preliminary exploration stage of this fee. So there's a lot of different factors that we have to look into it. We do know that we are a full CEP district, right? So we have a significant amount of our families in our district qualifying for free or reduced lunch. So we have to be mindful, tactful, and skillful in the implementation of this fee, and make sure that we give enough individuals, enough parents, enough information in order to help them prepare for the fee. So we do not have that specific number yet, but we will be working through that in the exploration phase.
And just to follow up, the fee is going to be for like an insurance, right? If the computer breaks.
The
for
technology fee.
replacement.
I
Yeah, okay.
apologize. The technology fee will be all encompassing. So it will not only cover the device itself, which will be their device, but it also will cover, it is our goal to ensure that it also covers insurance as well.
Tax? Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tex.
Mr. Deans,
Yes, ma'am.
the one-on-one from 9th grade through 12th grade is a different approach. Can you tell me a little bit more about the decision to move in that way and the connection to loss and mitigation?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a significant number of other districts that we neighbor with, that we partner with, that are implementing this strategy right now. I think that we all understand that we probably need to do things a little bit differently in how we approach our Chromebook dissemination, particularly at our secondary levels, providing students with a more robust opportunity to not just engage in activities just directly in the school, but also engage in activities at home. So just modeling other districts, understanding that devices in the hands of students is where it's best served, but also having a plan to not only have backups in the school is one of the reasons why we're going with the one-to-one, because at this point that we can provide students with a device, that we know that they have a device, and through their high school career at a minimum, just to start through a minimum of their high school career, we hope not to have any concerns related to the devices itself. The mobile device management that I spoke to earlier is what's really going to help us with our loss mitigation. There's some additional steps that we need to do, but for all intents and purposes, it will give us the opportunity to monitor and track our asset. So we will know exactly where our asset is. We will know exactly what our asset is doing, but we will have to have some level of cooperation with the implementation of that asset, of the implementation of that mobile device management related to the asset.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we can move forward.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, now we will have summer enrichment overview. First, we'll hear from Mr. Dunn, followed by Mr. McArthur. Gentlemen.
Good evening, everybody. As you may or may not have known, as a part of our last strategic plan, we included a action strategy related to developing an annual summer school academy experience for all students that will support achievement in academics, arts, and athletics. And we've been continuing that program even in our new phase of our strategic plan. This past year, we partnered with Camp Rock and Camp Kaboom to support elementary students for summer enrichment. We're going to talk a little bit about our data from the summer. As a quick overview, Camp Rock was partnered specifically with our K-2 students, rising K-2. So actually students who just got started this year actually got an opportunity to start before the first day of school through our summer enrichment program, as well as Camp Kaboom, who was grades 3 to 6, got an opportunity to participate in that program as well. What we did a little bit differently this year is we went from 2 different sites that were K-6 to a single site for K-2 and a single site for 3 to 6. So you can see the dates and the locations below. We ran a program from the end of June, June 30th, to the end of July, July 31st, and that was a full day program, which was very critical for a lot of the parents, highly in demand for a full day summer enrichment program. Evans Elementary hosted our Camp Rock program, and the 9th grade academy hosted our Camp Kaboom program. And the idea there was, even though the programs were in separate buildings, a lot of parents have students that are in, you know, a variety of grade bands. So essentially having them on the same campus allowed us to give each program their own space to develop their unique culture and obviously service the specific students that they're working with while not being a hindrance to parents. In terms of attendance and academics, we had 474 students that registered for summer enrichment programs. Quick asterisk there, some of those students were also qualified for ESY. So some students ended up participating in our ESY program even though they registered. In terms of the students that registered, 407 students attended at least once, and the average attendance rate was 78%, which was pretty high. What we are doing now is we are analyzing the academic data to make some decisions and some comparisons throughout the course of the school year. So as you can see, 95% of attendees have at least one academic progress monitoring point recorded, and 85% of attendees have scored for most assessments in math and ELA. So all that means that we'll be able to come up with some pretty robust answers to the impact of summer programming, particularly from a math and ELA perspective. I believe at this point, I'm gonna pass it to Mike. Mike's gonna talk about some future research questions that we're going to be answering through using data from this school year.
Thank you, Ed. So yes, we are just finishing up now our fall screener window. MAP and Acadians are done, and now we're doing Firefly, our science screener for the fall. And once those are complete, we have several questions that we'd like to ask about the impact of summer enrichment. The first one is, we know that we often see a summer slide, and when I say summer slide, what I mean is the academic performance of students in the spring often drops when we measure their baseline performance in the fall. And so one of the reasons to do a summer enrichment is to lessen the amount of lost, the lower the amount of decrease in achievement over the summer. And so we want to see if students who participated in the program have less of a summer slide in math and ELA. And this is something that we've looked at before, but we like to look at it every year to understand the ongoing impact of our program. The second research question we want to look into is there a long-term impact of participating in summer enrichment? So it might be the case that we can't see the impact when we look at the summer slide, but maybe it's the case that students who participate in summer enrichment have a higher average growth or higher achievement on average when we look at their performance throughout the school year. So that's a new thing that we're going to look at this year, and that will take until the end of this year to do that full study. We're also going to look at if the students who attended summer enrichment have stronger attendance. And that's one where we can control, because we actually, for many of these students, we have their attendance the year before and the year after. So we can compare their own attendance in one year to their attendance in the next. The other thing we're going to make sure to check is just, was the program easily accessible and effective for everyone? Meaning, when we break down our, when we disaggregate the results of summer enrichment by different demographic groups, is it the case that all folks participating are being equally successful? You know, are they attending at equal rates? Do they have similar academic outcomes? And if we do find impacts in summer slide mitigation or long-term differences, is there differences among different demographic groups? And all this information will help us identify opportunities to improve next year. And I have to say, it's really wonderful to work with our camp partners, Camp Rock and Camp Kaboom. This year, we did tweak the program a little bit, and as Ed talked about, and a few things that Ed didn't talk about, and they're really open to hearing and taking advantage of opportunities to improve. So we're hoping that when we go to answer these research questions, that they'll fuel continual improvement at both camps. And I think that concludes our discussion of summer enrichment, so we can maybe pause for some questions, if there are any.
I don't see any hands raised. So I would just add thank you for the information, and I'm looking forward to the outcomes of the research questions that are being posed to track the productivity of our summer programming. We
Thank
can
you.
continue to move forward. You're welcome.
Next, we'll have Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris, your update for student services, please.
Good evening, everybody. First, I'd like to share with you an update on our current team and the who's who as a result of the audit that was conducted last spring and continued partnerships with both the Chester County Intermediate Unit and the Delaware County Intermediate Unit. Both of those entities have supported the district in designing this new team that we are operating with. So in addition to myself and Ms. Austin as our lead assistant, we have two supervisors of special education, Dr. Christine Joy, who joined us this past week, and Ms. Heidi Sokash, who joined the district along with me over the summer, and Dr. Nakia Williams, who is an existing member of the team here, along with Special Education Data Coordinator, Angela Humphrey. We lead both the pupil services and the special education sides of the student services house. So student services is that large umbrella that supports both pupil services for all students and special education needs for students who are eligible for special education and might have an IEP, also a 504 or gifted education services. Within the pupil services work area, this includes the registration department with Danielle White, Ms. Danielle White, Mr. John Frank, Mr. Dana Keith, and Ms. Teresa Overton. It also encompasses all of the school social workers, school nurses, and school counselors that operate out of the school buildings and across the district. Within the special education side of the house, we have a couple other leaders in our group. Kate Bowden, who is currently serving as a contracted mental health therapist for students who require that service in their IEP through a partnership with Devereaux that we approved on the June board meeting. She is now transitioning into the program coordinator role. So she is functioning as a clinical supervisor for all of the mental health therapists from that agency working in our schools. From the Chester County IU, we are happy to have with us Chanel Forrest, who is the lead PCA coordinator. As we have been partnering with them to staff our personal care assistants who provide one-on-one support to students with special needs. Chanel is their direct supervisor and supports both the principals and the supervisors in managing that staff. And joining us later this month will be Lily Mades, who is a skilled and experienced board certified behavior analyst. Coming from the Chester County IU, her primary role will be to support managing the PCA services for students who receive them, specifically by leveraging data-driven research and observation to help the district determine how to best support the students with that service. Are there any questions on our org chart?
So before we go into questions, I'm actually going to stop sharing.
Okay.
Ms. Val, as the chair of the committee, we do have a few questions in the Q&A, and then we do have Ms. Tax with a hand. Ms. Mashinda is in the audience as well, but her hand was up first before Dr. Harris called for questions. So I guess the line of questioning right now will be specifically around special education and what Dr. Harris just presented, and then we'll come back to any other questions that may be left in the chat. Is that fair, Ms. Cook-Henry?
That sounds great. And I only saw Ms. Mashinda, but we will move accordingly
Okay.
to what you just stated.
Ms.
I'm good.
Mashinda first, and then Ms. Tax. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So you went over this chart, Mr. Harris, but like none of these people, like Miss Heidi, I mean, not to be smart, you know, all these nice people that are on this chart, who are
Mhm.
they? Like I've only had a meeting with you, Miss Heidi Socash, I've never been introduced to. So say for instance, there's an issue that I have and you're not there, who takes care of it? Just like you last email you sent me, you put Miss Austin on it. And I don't even know who she is or why she's even privy to any conversations that we have. So like, cause I'm not trying to be smart. I'm not feeling special ed. It takes y'all months to respond or do anything when it comes to my children. And y'all got all these people with all these hats, but nobody's doing anything. So I'm just confused as how this education piece is actually working for the people that have special needs or special ed. And just like ESY last year, I'm confused as to why it was only 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. That doesn't help families that work. So like you got to figure out either pay for your kid to go somewhere and they can't do ESY because y'all not accommodating families. Before ESY was all day, and it's just, I don't know what we're going to do coming up.
Thanks, Ms. Mashinda, for your question. Dr. Harris, we can speak to the chart
Mhm.
at this time and follow up with Ms. Mashinda about some of the specifics related to her presented concerns.
Thank you, Ms. Tax. Of what was shared with regarding to the chart, again, if I, for any reason, should be unavailable, either Dr. Williams, Ms. Socash, or Dr. Joy can be available to support needs. Ms. Austin is my executive assistant, and there are times where, as any executive level administrator will copy them on communications to support follow through, turnaround, and they are bound by the same FERPA and HIPAA requirements that all school employees are. So, and I look forward to scheduling a time to speak with you in the next few days, Ms. Mashinda.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Ms. Brown, the next follow.
Hello, Melinda Tax again. I just have a question on special ed. Is it divided by secondary and elementary? And if so, the PLC is a K through 12 program, where do we fit in both houses if it's divided that way?
So Ms. Sokash is focusing on supporting the needs in K through 6 programming, and Dr. Joy is focused on supporting the secondary programming grades 7 through 12. So the grade levels of the students would indicate that initial outreach for administrative support with regard to special needs. If there are any additional needs that come up, you can always refer that to me, and I'll make sure it's assigned and accounted for. And Ms. Brown and I do collaborate directly as cabinet members on needs that need to be addressed across the programs between PLC and student services.
Absolutely. And to follow up on that, Dr. Harris, all PLC concerns will come directly through me so that I know they're funneled correctly. So I do appreciate Ms. Tax bringing that question to the platform. Are you finished? You need to finish your last slide. Am I correct, Dr. Harris?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm gonna share again and then we'll go back to any other questions. I know Ms. Mashinda, you still have another question. Am I correct? So we'll come back to Ms. Mashinda after this last slide.
Great. And this slide provides some insight into our first quarter focus areas. Initially, we have been focused mostly on the programming that included both ESY programming over the summer and then immediate building level support as the school year began, while also prioritizing processing registrations out of the central office. The way we operate and approach programmatic support is to partner with the buildings, and that looks like close communication with the building principals and on-site visits and supports to the classrooms by the supervisors. Specific to pupil services, I already noted the registration processing has been a focus, as well as the data-driven allocation of staff resources for student supports. So when Dr. Williams and I were planning for the year and making staff assignments, we were looking at a variety of different data sets regarding prior usage, what are the current numbers and enrollments, and what are the types of programs and needs of each building, and working to the best of our ability to make assignments that aligned with those priorities. Under the special education side of function, ESY this year received a daily supervisor level support from Ms. Sokash on site. That was a new addition to the program this year. And we've also worked on identifying action steps and benchmarks that align with the audit results that were conducted and presented this past spring. We continue to focus also on delivering and planning professional development to improve how we're implementing our services.
Thank you. Ms. Mashinda, would you have the floor again?
Just a Mr. Dr. Harris, you should not to be smart. I understand that you said Miss Austin's your assistant, but that was never told to me. So like I get that she's supposed to be on emails, but you should let me know. And you've been planning this meeting for over a month now. We still haven't had it. Now it's October. So I hope everybody that's part of this team is going to be privy to this meeting. Because you keep saying this, y'all keep saying y'all doing X, Y, and Z. And until the lawyers get involved, then I get a response. Other than that, I don't hear from you. So I'm very perturbed at this point, and Ms. Brown and all them can attest. So I'm a parent that's very involved in my kids and what's going on. So when I send an email, I don't expect to wait 2-3 weeks to get a response.
Thank you for your voice, and I look forward to meeting with you.
At this point, I don't see any additional hands raised. Are there Any last questions for the good of the order? If not, seeing none, this concludes our Education Committee meeting for October the 8th, 2025. And I thank everyone for their attendance and participation and look forward to our ongoing growth in our Education Committee efforts. Thank you, and everyone have a good night.